Good day everyone, my name is Victor Ramos from Bachelor of Physical Education, Section F5. And as we all know that the election is quietly approaching, I would like to remind us and I would like to give a short encouragement to all of us that we are a newly voter. And as a newly voter, personally with myself, we are responsible enough. We're given this right to vote, to choose people who will lead us and the country that we are in right now. And as we vote, we need to be wise enough to who we are going to vote. It requires better understanding about what voting really is, the real essence of voting. Voting wisely requires an honest conscience. It is the decision that we are going to make in order to prepare us for our future. And personally, we should be neutral for this coming election. We should never be engaged with any political parties in order for us to figure out who really deserve the position. And as we all know that this election is not for the present but for the future. We need to think for a long-term reasons. We should never be comfortable enough for what they are saying in front of the camera, because as we all know that there's a lot of liar this time, especially this coming election. We're always aware of it. So we need to be wise enough. We need to think of those reasons that will be beneficial for us, for the present and the future.
Good day everyone, my name is Ifabay, BPEd F5. Today I am going to give my advice to our new voters. As well as know that the election is quietly approaching, I would like to remind the new voters of 2022 that if we choose our next leader who will lead our country and community, we are choosing a leader who will guide our present and our future. We are entrusting the nation to them. In that way, we need to observant enough to decide who are we going to vote. We must choose a leader that who has a passion to prioritize the country more than himself. A leader who can make a real difference, not just for the particular year, but for the future. It requires deep understanding about what voting really is in order for us to figure out who we should vote or who really deserve the position. We need to choose a leader, not a boss. A leader who will do everything for his nation. A boss will let his worker to do everything for him.
Hello everyone, my name is David Eladidong from Bachelor of Physical Education, BPEd F5. In this coming election 2022, I would like to encourage all new voters to choose wisely a leader, lead our country, a leader who can provide the best way to develop our country, and leader who is concerned to the people that we lead, a leader who can trust, a leader who can develop good relationship and trade to the other neighboring countries, and finally, a leader who always seek for the guidance of our Almighty God. For nowadays, politics is being used as an advantage to acquire more wealth. Let's not tolerate corruption, and at the end of the day, the future of this country is in our hand. That's why, let's vote wisely.
We're a few months away from the most awaited presidential election. Do you have a candidate in mind to vote? We have a lot of qualities, but we consider we're selecting the best person to vote. Will our preferred candidate will bring us the change that the people of the masses has been wanting for so long, or our preferred candidate just want to follow the footsteps of our current administration or improve it, or make it better? As a citizen of legal age to vote, the betterment of our country, the Philippines, is on our hands. We don't just give our votes, we entrust ourselves, the whole country, and the countrymen for the next generations. This vote is not just about you, it's for the sake of every single person who lives in our country, a farmer, a construction worker, a teacher, and even the harmless citizens. The things that we've been wanting for our country to achieve can only be achieved if we chose the right person to lead us. a president who is fair, eyes and ears for everyone, and a voice to deliver. Every single vote matters. Your vote matters. Vote wisely.
Good morning everyone, my name is Stanley Bautista from BPEd F5, First Year College in GF5. I would like to encourage to everyone to vote in wisely. Your vote is really this matter. This election, we are choosing the local leaders who will guide in our present and our future. These are the candidates for president, for vice president. If you don't vote, you are leaving it others to make critical decisions regarding your future. Therefore, now is the perfect time to familiarize yourself with the voting process in the candidate. If you want your voice to be heard in candidate who represent your view to help shape what the future looks like, then you need to vote for them. This is especially important in a primary election where your vote is even more impactful. So be smart in voting, and thank you.
I am Dimple June Boras from BPEd F5. Why it might be important for citizens to vote? Another responsibilities of citizens is voting. The law does not require citizens to vote, but voting is very important part of any democracy. By voting, the citizens are participating in the democratic process. Citizens vote for leaders to represent them and their ideas, and the leaders support them, the citizen interest. At this point is an election year. You might find yourself overwhelmed by politics, the advertisement, the polls, the news coverage. With all that noise, it's easy for folks to come up with excuse for not voting, or I can't get behind any of the candidates, or my vote doesn't even matter. Maybe those excuses are starting to sound pretty reasonable to you now, but if we are concerned all about our country and its future, we must pay attention to the election and use our vote wisely. This isn't about Republican versus Democrat. It's all about demanding honesty, integrity from our leaders, and rewarding that integrity with our votes. That's how we will elect leaders. Voting is the 1K way to help turn in this country around. Another is for families and individualities and change their personal economies. And there's no better way to do that than with Philippine Money Class. Financial peace, university, millions of families have taken control of their money and changed their future forever. You can too.
It has really been a quiet year. The pandemic looming on one end and the failure of leaders to guide us safely through this difficult time on the other. But troubles in the scales aren't new. Over the last decade, we have been through many challenges and movements that demand changes. Changes about what's happening in our country right now, that we are facing a pandemic, which is a COVID, and a sign for maybe a world war, about what happened in Russia and Ukraine. Considering the amount of chaos we face, it is easy for us kids just to be born to the world, to feel this illusion. We are bombarded with bad news and hopelessness on almost a daily basis. Your vote really does matter. This election, we are choosing the local leaders who will guide our present and our future. And now we are choosing those mayors, president, senators, any government officials and the others. And if you don't vote, you are leaving it others to make critical decisions regarding your future. Therefore, now is the time, or the perfect time, to familiarize yourself with the voting process and the candidates. First, know who you vote, know how to vote, know their platforms, know their educational backgrounds, know their history, know their past of what have been done for the past 6 years. And I encourage everyone to think wisely. Be careful how you vote, and never base your vote to money.
Hello, I'm John Mark Kawili. I am a head of student major in PE. In this incoming halalan 2022, I am encouraging you all to vote wisely. You should put in mind that the candidate you are voting for will lead us to better country. Choose a leader that will put her or his words into action. A leader that knows what they stand for. A committed leader. A single vote will make a difference. So your vote matters. Think and vote wisely. Thank you.
We look for wisdom in our future leaders as voters, but more crucially as citizens of a vast and diverse community to ensure that we can all enjoy full and meaningful lives. It may feel hopeless at times, but the good news is that it's like exercise. Wisdom can be measured and improved. We can actively work to improve our knowledge. Voting and voting wisely is a practical act of wisdom. Voting sensibly means doing your homework, determining who the best candidate is, and voting for that candidate. You may have your own set of criteria for determining who is the ideal candidate, but in broad terms, the aspects to evaluate are character, political, ethical, moral, and social beliefs, as well as track record. If we choose knowledgeable leaders, we will help the rest of society become wiser as well. When that happens, everyone's winning. Self-reflection and insights are skills of wise people have. They can take a hard look at themselves and discover where they can improve and grow as people. Similarly, they can accept diversity as a fact of life. Other people have diverse viewpoints, which are influenced by their own biology and life experiences. These distinctions must be acknowledged and appreciated, no matter how weird or putting they may be. Once again, vote wisely.
Evening everyone, my name is Janico Jen Santiel Baladora from BPEd F5. This is my message to all newly voters. My message to all the newly voters in this coming presidential election is that we, Filipino, has the right to vote with our chosen candidate, and every one of us should be responsible with our own decisions in determining which among the candidates are deserving to be a leader of our country. Every candidate has a main goal in administrating our country that will help all Filipinos to have a better life. We newly voters must be aware of some modus that will affect our decisions in choosing our leaders. Example of this are vote buying, which all of us ordinary citizens living in our country is the main target. They will offer money, goods, and other benefits that will encourage you to buy your rights. This is rampant every time the election campaign is going on. As a student and as a newly voter, we should be the change of our country. We should report every incident that is not good and make a big impact in the result of our coming presidential elections.